What's up, YouTube? Happy 420 to all my 420 enjoyers. I'm low-key enjoying my 420 right now, as you already know. But let's get straight into the story time on how I got stranded on the highway and I had to walk home. So this story takes place around like 2019, 2018 summer. It was one of those years. And my cousin was a part of this group dancing program. They performed at beaches, parades, concerts, just like it was like like a little dance group or whatever, and they would travel. So for one of her concerts, I think she was performing at this beach or something. It was like a little dance group performing at a beach or and something, and anyone was allowed to come in the family, like friends were allowed to go, anyone was allowed to go, right? So my dad, me, my whole family, her friend, her boyfriend, I'm pretty sure, we all went. So we didn't have like multiple rides, so we just had this car that was supposed to hold five, maybe four, maybe five people, something like that. And we're like over that limit. We're about eight, seven heads deep in this, and we're sitting on each other's laps on the floor, trying to make the car ride work when it can't really work, in our scenario. But anyhow, we're driving there. I think it was near like Waterbury, Rocky. It was near somewhere. It was far from where we lived though. I know that. It was a good like 25, 30-minute drive. And we were driving there. We eventually get there and my cousin's getting dressed in her outfit that they were supposed to wear for their dancing. And at this event, they had drinks, mad snacks, like just normal shit they would have at parties and everything like that. And they had they had like an alcohol bar or something like that. It was like a bar, tiki, something like that. And there was, keep in mind, there was mad alcohol there. And the thing about my dad and my aunt, they're not, well, my dad's kind of an alcoholic, but my aunt kind of is too-ish, somewhat. But either way, they're enjoying it. Where everyone's just enjoying it, watching them dance and just everything. And my aunt and my dad are having a couple shots, and then those shots get turned into bottles, and those bottles get turned into multiple. So I think my dad was like seven, eight bottles deep, and my aunt was like six, maybe seven. I don't know. They were pretty heavy drinkers though. So as they're getting their drink on and everything like that, it's starting to get late, around like 8:39 ish, and everyone is leaving. The event's almost over. It's time for everyone to almost go home and everything. And my aunt's piss way drunk, as well as my dad. And as of this scenario, I have a piss drunk aunt that's trying to argue with us about who drives what and about everything, because we were in my aunt's car. And as of this, my aunt is really stubborn and really like aggravated when she's really under the influence of alcohol. And she was really like trying and persistent on driving, even though she was piss way drunk, and she was saying that she wasn't drunk and all that shit, right? So either way, I guess somehow by God's mean, she gets like the ability to fucking drive somehow. I guess I don't know. She would fucking made a promise, pinky promise, some shit. So all I know is that somehow she was driving, and as we're driving, keep in mind we're sitting on each other's laps. There's mad people in this car, eight people in this bitch. It's packed as fuck. We have a drunk driver. There's bickering and arguing and all that in the car. My aunt screaming, and it's just overall just fucking crazy. And it's really hectic and everything like that. But either way, my aunt eventually starts arguing with my dad because my cousin, which was, I think she was like 15, 14 at the time, and she was, trying to just enjoy her, her night or whatever, and she was out the window, like out of the passenger window, like sitting on it, screaming while listening to music and everything like that, just being a teenager, enjoying herself. And I was like 8, 7 at the time. I was mad scared about it because I thought she was gonna die or some shit. I was like, oh my god. I was crying and trembling and shit. And as I'm crying and, tearing up and shit because I'm scared, my aunt wants to say, "Oh, stop crying and stop being a little bitch. Your cousin's just trying to enjoy her time out." Da 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 da. And my dad sees this and he's like, "Oh, why are you cussing at your nephew like that? What the fuck?" And then my grandma's arguing, trying to stop them both from arguing. And eventually, as they're arguing and everything, my aunt is driving while drunk and swerving like crazy and hitting the bumps on the side of the road. And overall, just like reckless fucking driving. I don't know how we didn't get fucking pulled over. But either way, we eventually get to this point where she's fed up with my dad's bullshit and my grandmother's bullshit. And she's like, "Get the fuck out of my car. Get the fuck out." And she pulled over on the side of the highway and left us there for stranded and shit. Like she left us there, and as she left us there, it was pretty wild. But it's me, my grandmother, and my father, pissed way drunk, and eventually we're like, "What do we do?" And my dad is like, "We gotta walk," in his most drunkest tone ever, slurring his words. And eventually we're walking and everything like that, and walking on the highway. On the side of it, like on the highway, there's like these either bars or like wire, and there's two sides. There's the road, and then there's like this dirt, grass, path, whatever. And we were on the other side of it. Eventually, we're walking. We're trying not to get hit by cars. People see us walking. I think they think we're homeless or some shit. And eventually, we had to cross this like big part to get to this other side of where we were going. And we crossed the street. As we crossed the street, it's like two cars coming at us, and they're zooming because we're on a highway, like I said. So they're zooming. They almost hit my dad, and the car honks. And eventually we get to this one place. It was a Cumberland Farms, I think. It was a gas station. I think it was a Cumberland Farms. And the as we see it, we finally see some civilization, and we're somewhat excited. I'm exhausted. It's like 11-ish, 10:30-ish, something like that. And we were just trying to get the fuck home, right? Eventually, I think we were like gonna walk to the Cumberland, I'm pretty sure. And police come up to us, they stop us. They're like, "Hey, are you guys okay? Are you guys hurt? We're getting a lot of calls that y'all are being on the side of the road, on the highway, and overall just like crossing the big ass highway and everything like that. We've gotten several complaints about y'all, and y'all can't be doing that. I guess it's illegal or some shit to be on the side of the highway." But eventually they're like, "Oh, do you want us to just like stop the road real quick just so y'all can get over to the gas station so y'all can call a ride or something like that, or do y'all want to ride?" We were like, "No, we're good. We appreciate the offer." While my dad's drunk and everything, they're looking at him weird as fuck, and they're confused if I'm okay, if fucking it's just like a confusing situation in all honesty, because they see a man that's drunk, they see an elderly woman, and they just see a child, and it's really weird and confusing for them. But either way, they stop the road, or the oncoming traffic, I guess, and they stop it for us so we can go to the gas station. We get to the gas station eventually, and we're sitting there. There's a bathroom. My dad is using the bathroom to throw up because I guess he was mad nauseous or some shit. And my aunt's calling my cousin's dad, which I consider my uncle, but it's my cousin's dad. And she's like, "Hey, can you come pick us up?" Anna, which is my aunt's name, left us here, and she was just drunk and everything. We just need a ride back home. You think you could like just bring us and everything? And my cousin's dad is like, "Yeah, of course, anytime." So he drives all the way to the gas station. We get here, and he picks us up. And he could tell my dad's piss way drunk by the way he just smells. He reeks of alcohol because he's sitting in the passenger seat. And he's like, "So what happened?" We fill him in on the situation, and he's like, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that," and everything. And as he's like talking and everything, my grandmother gets a call from my aunt, and my aunt's like, I guess, just ranting about my cousin, like, crying because of what my aunt did, aka her mom. And she was, I guess, talking on the phone saying that KK's crying, which is my cousin's name. And she's like, oh, she's crying because of this and that. And she's saying I'm a horrible mother. And she cussed me out, left the house. I guess with her boyfriend or and her friends or whatever. They just left. And she's there at the house by herself, like piss way drunk, sad, angry, just all these emotions, I guess. And we hear her on the phone because she put her on speaker. And eventually she's like, oh, I'll go back out there to get you guys. And she's just like, there's no need. We're already on our way home. Thanks a lot, though. And my dad tries to say something on the phone. My aunt hears my dad say some slick shit. I don't want to say what he said, but he says some real slick and grimy shit. And my aunt is arguing with him. And thankfully, we get home safe. Nobody's injured besides my dad's fucking liver or kidney, whatever. That shit was fucking torn up. But either way, we get home safely. We have to like sneak in the house, kind of like not making too much noise so my aunt doesn't go up the stairs, or I mean not up the stairs, down the stairs to fight my father for I guess what he said. But anyway, we called my cousin to make sure she was safe because, like I said, she left with her friend and her boyfriend. We call her, she answers, she's like, yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for checking up. I hope you guys are okay. I hope nobody's injured. I hope everyone's alright. I'm sorry for what my mom did. She's a real scumbag, I know. Just don't get mad, please. And she was like, no, well, make sure your dad doesn't try to fight my mother. And eventually everything calmed down. I was never like given an apology for what she did. And eventually my aunt moved out. A year later with my cousin, I still keep in contact with my aunt to this day about it, but I was never issued an apology. But on a side note, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe. I'm gonna enjoy my 420, getting about baked as shit. Hope y'all enjoy y'all's. Stay safe, share with a friend, subscribe, do whatever. Join the Discord, and peace.